why did you not bring any witnesses to the stand? Why not the DA? Why not the sheriff?
Well, we received over the weekend a transcript of the proceedings, and I have the transcript here. It's about 250 pages, and we went over every word of it, and we are convinced, having read this record, that the plaintiffs have utterly failed to prove their case. They've not offered any evidence whatsoever, particularly on the issue of standing. In fact, on several occasions, they were arguing with me while I was on the witness stand about what I knew about their financial interest, if any, in VictoryLand and so on and so forth. And as I reported on the witness stand the other day, I don't have information that indicates that. In a lawsuit like this, though, they have to prove, among other things, that they have standing. That is, they have a right to bring the case. They haven't proven that right. So there is no standing. On the quo warranto thing, they're challenging our authority, but as we review the record, we find that proof of our authority is abundantly clear in the record. That is, the governor exercising the governor's authority as the chief executive officer of the state of Alabama appointed me as his commander of the task force on illegal gambling. They did not challenge that, and that clearly then is our authority. So, on both scores, the question of their standing to bring it in the first place, and second, on our authority, after a very careful word-by-word review of the transcript, we think that we're in good shape, so we don't need to put on.
You have complete confidence that you are going. The ban is going to be lifted, and you're going to be able to move forward.
I think we have complete confidence that we're going to ultimately win this case. Now, whether we win it here at the trial court level or whether we win it at the Supreme Court level, I couldn't really tell you. I do think, though, that the judge is aware of these things. That's part of the reason I didn't argue anymore. I spent 7 hours on the witness stand arguing our case last week. So we'll see what this judge has to say. If he rules against us, we're going to the Alabama Supreme Court, and we're confident of our position.
Attorney General King is supposed to have a press conference today concerning the task force. Have you had any conversations with his office, or what are you expecting out of this press conference?
I don't have the slightest idea. At a recent press conference in Montgomery, somebody asked me if I had talked to the Attorney General, and I reported that no, I had not. In fact, I hadn't received any communication from him. He sent me a brief one-sentence note after that and attached all the letters that he had sent to the governor. But as of today, I still have not heard from the Attorney General. I've not received a letter from him, a phone call, a fax. It's kind of like the notice that we had about this particular hearing. No phone call, no fax, no email, no U.S. mail, no attempt in my office in Montgomery, and no attempt in the governor's office to communicate what was going on.
What did the sentence say?
Basically says, I think if I get it right, he said, oh, I thought you had received these, and he sent me a copy of the letters to the governor. Of course I had the copies of the letters to the governor, but the question that you asked and that they asked then is, have you talked to the Attorney General? And the answer today, at this late date, is no, sure haven't.
How quickly do you plan on raiding VictoryLand if the ban is lifted?
Well, that's a very good question. I understand why you would ask it, and you would understand why I couldn't answer.
Explain the standing issue. It's because they have no financial interest in it. They have no standing.
Yeah, they have no financial interest. They have no interest at all. At least insofar as the record is concerned, they've offered no evidence to explain why they have the right to be a party in the lawsuit. They have no connection with VictoryLand other than maybe they all reside in the same county. But the real party in interest under those circumstances should be VictoryLand or VictoryLand's owners. They are not in a position to complain about anything because they have no connection with VictoryLand, and the record is absolutely crystal clear about that. It's up to them to prove their case, not up to us to prove it, not up to us to respond to it. They didn't offer a single bit of evidence. The only thing that they did was put me on the stand, and I would suggest to you, putting me on the stand and nothing else underscores how much of an abuse of the judicial system this whole thing was.
Even though the county receives revenue from VictoryLand, the county commission wouldn't have legal standing?
No, sir. No, sir. All
I
right.
don't have anything else.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you all.